Musical medium Georgie G. Deyn, bringing you harmonies from heaven and messages of love. Like us on Facebook, Georgie G. Deyn, facebook.com/Georgie G. Deyn. Visit our website, www.georgiegdeyn.com. Radio advertisement for any company or organization will help increase sales. Here at Pulse Talk Radio, we have low price advertisement packages which will promote your business and be heard by thousands of online listeners globally every day. We can have your advertisement jingle professionally produced for you. We will even put your banner on our website for an extra £20 per year. A sponsorship page for just £85 per year. For more information, contact our sales team at salesteam@pulsetalkradio.com. Contact us today and see what Pulse Talk Radio can do for you.
Good evening and welcome to the Musical Medium Show. This is Georgie G. Deyn here, and I'm so excited to be bringing on my first guest of my first radio show here on Pulse Talk Radio. I had a slight glitch at the beginning, hence I played The Angels of Love by Seraphisa and said a quick prayer, and then it's all working now. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the beautiful psychic Beth. Hi Beth, how are you doing?
Hiya Georgie, and congratulations on your new show. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much. And you know what, I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, to be honest, because I was on your show, what was it, 3 years ago, the first time I came on?
Absolutely. I mean, Pulse Talk Radio is a wonderful station that I feel very lucky to be part of, and we're so, happy that you have been able to join us and have a wonderful show on here too on a Sunday. And yeah, we were introduced to each other, and I want to say thank you to you because you have supplied your gorgeous Seraphisa music every week for my show on Pulse Talk Radio, and I'm very grateful for that. And we absolutely love your music. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Beth. You know what? The first time I heard you play my music on the radio, honestly, I had tears in my eyes because it was like, this is a dream come true. My music's being played on the radio. Actually, I shouldn't say it's ours. It's mine and Marcus. So I'd love to know what you're up to at the moment. What's your latest news?
Lots of stuff. I'm always up to something, as you've probably gathered over the last 3 years, Georgie. My latest thing I'm doing is I've decided to write another book. I've already written a book, which was in 2017 called Life by Numbers, which is a book where you can look up a number between 1 and 1,000 and receive a message about that number and why you've seen it. And more recently, I've been doing a lot of work with my animal communication. A lot of people know me as a pet psychic. And I've decided now to write a book about animal communication and how you can teach yourself to be a pet psychic, because I had quite a lot of exposure over the last few months since September last year.
You have, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy time, because I predicted that a lady called Caroline would meet her soulmate by her horse told me that her horse is called Fred, and I know when I say her horse told me, that may sound a little bit strange to people.
Not
but
to
I
me.
Believe, that's all right then. But I believe animals can communicate with you using telepathy and also a psychic link. And often I'm called upon to help people with their pets. Maybe they've got a behaviour issue, maybe there's some strange sort of things that they're up to, that their owners don't understand why they're doing something in particular. And I do look at health, but also I have to work within the veterinary act, so I have to be a little bit careful there.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, it's really good to look at why your animal is behaving in a certain way. Maybe you want to check in with their needs, their wants, their opinions on their lifestyle, but also what happened. I found out that animals know a lot about us. They're excellent mind readers.
Wow.
Nevertheless, when I tuned into Fred, it was all about, because he got a bad back, and we were looking at ways to improve his problems, and he revealed that Caroline would meet a man who would be in Devon, who would love the sea, who'd be a sailor, but she would know it was him because he'd have a big scar on his leg. Now, it did all come true, and the papers got hold of it. And the next thing that happened then is that it sort of went viral. And I was very lucky with Caroline to be invited onto This Morning on ITV.
Yeah.
And they asked me to stay on and do the phone in, so people could ring in and send a photograph of their pets. So
I watched you. It was brilliant.
Yeah, did those pet readings, which was great fun. I was a little bit nervous, but consequently they've asked me back twice since then. So I've been on 3 times now. And then I was lucky enough to be invited onto Roman Kemp and Martin Kemp's Sunday Best programme, and also I went on Roman Kemp's radio show on Capital Breakfast, which was very exciting. So what I decided to do after that is that I believe if you are an animal lover and you're open-minded and you're willing to give it a go, I thought I'd love to teach more people how to communicate with the telepathic and psychic link with their own animals and maybe other animals, because I can't get to everyone to assist or help, and the more people that understand, the better. And so I've been channeling my efforts into a new book. Now, I've been lucky with Life by Numbers book because it's been an Amazon bestseller 4 times, so I'm very privileged, and I thank everybody from the bottom of my heart that has purchased the book and also has supported me and left Amazon reviews and all sorts. So I'm very grateful to anybody.
It's a fantastic book, I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to do an animal communication book, because people then can start using my techniques in order to bring the bond between themselves and their own pet even closer. And so I thought, you know, I'm going to do my best to get a publisher. I've got an agent, so I'm very, very excited about that.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, so she's actually sent it to a publisher last week who'd actually, I think, must be taking it seriously, because they were having a meeting about it last Tuesday. So it's probably got through a little bit of a door for them to have a meeting about it. So we did a book proposal and we did a first chapter, and now I'm just sort of crossing my fingers and holding my breath that somebody will say, yes, we would really like to do this book and publish this book. But even if I don't get that far, then I'll have to go down a self-publishing route. So at least I've got a backup plan, because I just think that so many people would benefit from using my tips and techniques, which consequently are really easy. You know, it's nothing complicated, and it's a very natural. Yeah, it's really, you know, it's a very natural thing to do, communicate with your pets. And so many people, Georgie, are already doing it, and they don't realise they're doing it, and the pets are sending the messages. But you're not always, you're not always realising it, or you're not really processing it, and it's easy to process it when you know how. So I thought if I could get that out in a book and show people how they can do that, and how they can sort of experiment with that and test themselves, and, you know, really have the opportunity there, I think that people could benefit, and animals, you know, can benefit from that, which would be my main aim. So if everybody listening can keep their fingers crossed for me, I'd be really grateful, and you know, that would be wonderful. So that's my latest project at the moment, is trying to write this next book. So we will see, and if not, I'm sure then I'll be up to something else like I normally am.
Well, that's so exciting. I really can't wait to read that book. I know you're going to write it. It's going to be finished. And whether or not you self-publish or get a publisher, it doesn't matter. The right people will be reading that book, and you're going to help lots of people. In fact, I've got a funny story. A few weeks ago, my niece was here, and she wanted to buy this app, which apparently listens to your dog bark and then tells you what it's saying in English. I said, oh, that's a load of nonsense. But my friend, she can speak to animals. She can tune in telepathically. And I was explaining the process. And you were going to be on Paula's show. So I'd put my name down and I'd said, could Phoebe have a little message from Bella to see if there was anything Bella wanted to share with us? Bella's actually my dog, by the way. And it was so funny. I'm like, you don't need an app. You can do this yourself. So I'm going to buy her a copy of your book as well.
Oh, well, I'll send you a copy, Georgie. Of course I will. And yeah, it was a shame because I was due to go on Paula's show, and we've both been struck down by the dreaded lurgy, me and Paula. So we had to reschedule. So I'm going back on there in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, it's a shame that happened. But I don't know, sometimes things happen that way. And I did have last Wednesday off from my own radio show. And I think we get to a point where you just, you know, you wear yourself out, and I needed to recharge my batteries a little bit. Although having that Wednesday off from my show, I missed the show, and my car broke down on that day. So then I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't have had the day off after all, because I had you know, an unfortunate incident where my car broke down, and then I couldn't get the recovery service to come out for 4 hours.
I saw that on Facebook. Yeah, what a joke.
One of those things, but never mind. These things happen, and I was fine. So yeah, it was okay, but yeah, it was unfortunate. And luckily Nigel's been able to repair the car. He's put a new I think it was a speed sensor, something very complex. Anyway, he knew how to do it, so he's fixed it. So I was
done, Nigel.
Well done, Nigel. Well done, Nigel. He's very good at lots of things. So I'm very lucky. You know, that he's so able to put his abilities into all sorts of things. Bless him. So that's good. So yeah, but I have got lots of cards lined up, so I know some of your people listening in tonight might want a reading. So I've brought lots of cards with me.
Ooh, you've got a penchant for cards, haven't you, Beth? How many packs have you got?
I mean, we could do a competition for people to guess if they want, but I tell you, they probably wouldn't believe the answer.
I had this idea of a competition because me and you have got something in common, which even you don't know about. And I was going to see if any of the listeners could guess or tune in and find out what me and Beth have in common. What do you reckon?
That sounds good. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I bet you are.
I don't know what it is either, so I'm quite intrigued about that one. But my mind's doing overtime now, Georgie.
Oh.
But yeah, I've got over 150 packs of Oracle and Tarot cards now. I've got an obsession.
My goodness, that's
I know,
like
terrible.
the Imelda Marcos of cards, isn't it?
I'm a hoarder, a card hoarder, I think. But I did my own set of Oracle cards exactly a year ago. We'd just gone into lockdown when they'd been released, which are called Live Your Best Life. And there's 52 cards in the pack, and they work so well, especially for anybody who's used to using cards. They're great. But even if you've never picked up a set of cards before, I've designed them in such a way that there's so many things to look at within the photograph. There's really easy phrases on the cards. And what I've decided to do to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of releasing the cards is to say to everybody, if you purchase a pack, they're $19.99 with free postage. I'm going to invite you into a free masterclass with me on how to get the best out of them, how to use them, share some of my tips and card reading ways that I use that could really, help somebody when they're either already established, because you might get some different ideas, or if you've never used cards before, or you're just dabbling with cards, or you're just interested or curious, it could really support you and open a new door for you. So if anybody is interested, I haven't got many packs left now. I think I've only got, I'm just having a look in my card cupboard. I think I've only got about 20 packs left now. So they are very low. So if anybody does want any, do contact me.
And what's the best way for them to contact you?
Probably Facebook on my Elizabeth Lee Crowther is my personal Facebook page. I've got an Instagram, which is, what's my Instagram? Elizabeth Lee Crowther Psychic. And if you just Google Psychic Beth, I think I normally come up. Or if you want to email me, it's info@psychicbeth.co.uk. So you can send me an email that way. I like Facebook Messenger, and WhatsApp is always very good as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I like WhatsApp. So what I'm thinking, Beth, is I'd love to play your jingle.
Ooh, thank you.
And then we'll look at doing some readings, shall we?
Absolutely. I would love to do readings for anybody who's listening in today. And I just want to say, if anybody is sort of working in a holistic way, your music, Georgie, is perfect, because I use your music all the time, not just when I'm doing my radio show. When I'm doing readings privately, I've got your music playing on in the background, and I find it so calming, so soothing. Or if I'm having a bad day, I just calm down by playing your music. And you've got the most beautiful angelic voice, and I really recommend it to anybody, because for Reiki, a lot of people do Reiki, or they're Reiki masters and they teach Reiki. Your music, I don't know whether it's your voice or it's the rhythm or what it is, but it seems to really work well with the Reiki healing energy. That's my personal opinion anyway. So, if anybody's a bit thinking, oh, where do I get some nice music from? I really always tell people to go to your website to grab it, because I absolutely adore your music. And do you know, people who listen in week by week, because I'm very fortunate to have a lot of lovely, loyal and regular listeners to my show, and they always comment, they always send me private messages and say, oh, I love that one you played this week by Georgie Deyn, I love that one, what was that one called?
Oh, that's so
they're
lovely.
asking about it. It's gorgeous.
So what's your favourite?
Well, I like Mary Me. I think that's probably my favourite, because it gets stuck in my head You know, and you get like one that you keep like you're humming away or singing away. And often I think it sounds a little bit like Marry Me, which I always I sing that tonight sometimes. I go, marry me, marry me. And he's like, oh God, here we go again. So it's really a bit of a joke like that we have about, but I don't know, it's hard to choose, but I kind of, that is the one that I kind of go to.
Yeah.
But you've got some gorgeous ones, and then you've got that one which I can never pronounce. Hoppo, is it Hoppo?
Apono.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, it's gorgeous. So you've got so many to choose from. And before I do my show on a Wednesday, I go through my list because I've got them all loaded into my broadcasting software, and I'm always thinking, now, what should I go for today? And then I think, I've had to be a bit brave today, so I might go for Angels of Courage. And then I go for what might somebody be feeling at the moment, you know, when they're listening in, and I try and like ask the angels to guide me to the right one for that show, if that makes sense.
That makes total sense to me, because I've done the same.
Yeah, and I don't just pick them out willy-nilly, you know, and I just kind of look through my list, and then I get the feeling, and you can't describe that to anybody. It's just like an inner knowing feeling, like you get a pull to something, and I get a pull, and I think that's the one for tonight. So that's the way I kind of work with it. If I'm doing like Reiki or my readings, I've just got them sort of on the, I've got a little iPod that my daughter bought me years ago, and she's loaded things on there for me, and then it just goes in a random sort of, I don't know what that, it's called something when it picks it out randomly. Shuffle, that's it. Shuffle. It's got Seraphisa on shuffle. So it just plays, and then often I think, that's a nice one, you know, and I just sort of go with the flow with it. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful harmony that you have got going on. And I know, Georgie, one of your amazing gifts is that you play the harp.
I've got it here with me this evening.
Really?
In fact, I will play it at some point this evening. Yeah, I'm going to play the harp and sing some tones later on. So why don't we have a listen to your jingle?
Psychic Beth's Spiritual Calling Show every Wednesday between 6 and 8 p.m. for free readings and guests from the psychic world. To get in touch and be part of the show, just email info@psychicbeth.co.uk or text 07982 24 87 54.
Now, when you hear that, do you dance along to it, Beth?
I love it because that's my very good friend Mark who did the jingle for me, and he'll never take any credit for any of the things he does for me.
Oh.
And he's a brilliant friend, and he's a DJ himself. He has a show, I think it's on Good Happy Radio, GHR. And he has a show on there, and he's very talented, but he's also very humble. He never thinks he is. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, you're brilliant. And he really is. But he always goes, oh. So he's so kind to me, and he's done all my jingles. And he's so lovely, and he'll never let me pay him to do them. He always goes, no, I want to do it for you. So he's a real blessing to have. You know, in
what
your
I'd
life.
call an earth angel.
He is an earth angel. He wouldn't admit it if you said that to him, but he really is. So yeah, so he's done all my jingles for me, and I did say, yeah, put me some happy music on there. You know,
I love it.
Yeah, because I think when you do spiritual shows, and you work in this way, and you're doing readings, and, you know, I work as a psychic medium as well as a pet psychic. And the mediumship side of it is about bringing people through from the spirit world, as you know. Mm-hmm. And I always think, you know, a lot of people think that that's sad. And I always think, no, we need to raise the energy, because a lot of people that come through from the spirit world, they often will bring little jokes or bring references to music that they loved when they were on Earth, and all sorts of things come through. So when I do my show, I like to keep it quite uplifting. I never like it to feel sort of a bit down or sad, that's why I wanted some happy music when he did my jingle for me, to reflect that. And we have a good time on the show. We have a lot of banter with some of the brilliant guests that I'm lucky to have on. We have all sorts of people that come on, and I've been doing the show, Georgie, since 2010, because I used to do it on another radio station before I was lucky to come on to Pulse Talk Radio. So, it's built up a lot of a following over those years, and we have had some most amazing guests like yourself who give up their time for free to come on and do readings and talk about how they got into the work that they do. And we have a lot of psychics, we have a lot of holistic people, and authors as well. So I think spiritualism covers such a big range of subjects.
It does.
And I never feel bored of it. I'm always excited for each show, even though I've been doing it for so long. I never feel that it's a drag. I always, like tonight, looking forward to your show. I was excited, thinking, I'll be going on Georgie's show tonight. And you never know when you do a reading for somebody what's going to come out. I love my cards. I love to use lots of different packs. I like to link in and look at past, present and future for people. And especially at the moment where people have felt very uncertain, it's really nice to bring a bit of clarity into somebody's life, or to help answer some questions through guidance, and I do my best. I'm not perfect. I try really hard, and I welcome anybody to come on and listen and have a free reading. All the readings are free, so even if you're skeptical, even if you've never had a reading before, you've got absolutely nothing to lose. So yeah, I'm just passionate about this work, and you learn something new all the time. And some of the guests that come on and they talk about what they do, it opens new doors for all of us, and I think everybody's psychic, and it's just about finding that area that really excites you, whether it's numerology, whether it's, I don't know, palmistry, or whether it's psychometry, or whether it's looking at cards, whatever it is, just to find that bit that you feel excited about and you want to explore further is always a good way to start. And as you know, meditation is becoming more and more well known now, and mindfulness, and all of us psychics and mediums, that's what we do, we meditate. And that's always a great starting point. If you've never done any of this kind of work before, always start by doing some meditation or guided meditation, because it trains your brain to get into the right zone to start working in a psychic way. And it's never scary or frightening or worrying. It's really gentle, and it's really helpful, and it's natural. And I think that's what people forget. We've all got the abilities, and they're naturally within us.
We do. We've all got that sixth sense, all of us. It's just about allowing it, slowing your mind down and allowing yourself to tune in to that sixth sense. So did you know that I used to teach meditation in schools?
Oh, I don't know whether you told me that on a show or not.
I don't think I have, no.
Wow, that's amazing. How did that sort of go? Was it with primary school or older children?
It was primary school, and I had this idea, and I knew that I could go into schools and do this. And I had people, negative Nellies, saying, that's not going to happen, you're not going to be allowed into schools. So of course that made me want to do it even more. And I was so lucky. I went into a school, I did a 6-week trial with one class, made a video, got it edited, then I went and presented it to a huge number of head teachers. There must have been about 100, and I had to talk about it in front of them. I was so nervous because I felt like a naughty schoolgirl. And I played the video and I was passionate about it because I really believe that meditation can change people's lives. And I got into about 10 schools. So yeah, 1 in 10 of those heads invited me to go to their schools and teach meditation.
Oh, that is the best thing I've heard. I've got a lovely lady who's a head teacher. Actually, she's been on my show. Her name's Hayley, and she's written a wonderful book actually called Pure Coaching. It's by Jan Rudge and Hayley Guest. And she's quite an open-minded head teacher and often looks at ways to support the children. So I might have to pass your name on to her, Georgie, if you're very, good at doing meditation with children. But isn't it just the way forward? And children are very close to their imaginations, and meditation often uses that part of your brain where your imagination comes from, especially when it's a guided meditation and you're going on a journey. And children, I'm sure, just absorb that very quickly. And you may not know, Georgie, that I'm a nursery nurse. I was NNEB trained when I left school.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I worked in primary schools for many years, and I worked in special school, and then I worked in a middle school, and then I worked in nursery. And so yeah, I worked with children for many years. And then I had my third child, Alice, and I decided that I was going to be a stay-at-home mom when I did that. And then I ended up having a saddlery business. And then people ended up just bringing in their pictures of their horses. They didn't buy any saddlery anymore. They just wanted me to give them an animal reading. So it all naturally sort of evolved from one thing into another.
That's wonderful when it just happens like that, because I get so many people saying to me, what's my life purpose? What am I meant to do? And I always say, what brings you joy? What makes your heart sing? And it's as though that's just happened for you. The universe has given you this opportunity. And I can't wait to read your book.
Well, it's going to be a bit of a slog, I think, to write it, because I've got so many things I want to put into it. There's so many aspects to animal communication. It goes down lots of different roads. And, of course, the basis of it is to understand what telepathy is and understand what clairvoyance is, clairaudience, clairsentience, and so forth. And when you get the basis of that and then you start practicing, really I teach a lot of people to practice with photographs of pets, because animals are telepathic. You don't need to be with them to do the reading about them. You just need a good description of the pet, or you need a photograph of them. And I always think it helps if you've got that animal's name. It's a bit like then, I think, having their phone number. You've got the picture, you've got the name of them, and so you're tuning in to the correct animal, you see. So it's a fascinating thing to do, and I've done it for so long that I just talk about it, like it's really normal. Often I say, oh, your dog's saying this, or your cat says this, and then I have to take a step back and think, well, hang on a minute, Beth, just because you think it sounds really normal because you're used to it, other people might be thinking, your cat says it or your dog says it. So I have to kind of put myself back into their shoes. So I think the book will then get round that problem, because it will explain it in a way that people can then start to get their head around. And once you've actually done it yourself and experienced it, and then picked up some information from a pet that you don't know anything about, that then is validated by that pet's owner, that strengthens then the belief that you couldn't have possibly known the info unless that animal had told it you, in a psychic way, coming
Absolutely.
into your mind. It could be a picture of something, it could be a word, it could be a phrase, it could be a feeling, it could even be a smell or a taste. That's all the ways that we send and receive the information. So it's a two-way thing. It's about being a sender and about being a receiver of the information. It's just fascinating, it really is. And when I started picking up information from animals that they know about their owners, then I started to think, do you know what? Animals are really psychic. In fact, they are more psychic than we are. And they started making predictions that were coming true for their owners. It's like, whoa, this is next level. And that's what I really love, because I've discovered so much, and I'm just being so privileged to have been put on TV to prove it to people. And when ITV phoned me to do it, they said, oh, you know, you may get a lot of negativity afterwards, that people may be unkind to you, because we get a lot of people who will write negative things or be spiteful when one of our guests has been on TV. And they said, how will you handle it? And I said, do you know what? I said, I don't care. I said, because if I can get that info out to the people that need it, it doesn't matter if some people give me any grief over it, because I don't read it anyway. And I honestly can say that I never looked at any of the feedback after, because I thought, do you know what, I'm not interested if people don't understand it. And it really has been like water off a duck's back. So I kind of surprised myself that I wasn't, tempted to look, which I wasn't. And the only bit of feedback that I was told about this, I didn't actually see it. And I had this discussion the other day with my daughter about not taking any notice about what people say on social media. I'm very good at not taking any notice, I am. I can switch myself off.
You're really so good like that. I get really upset.
No, you're not to, because it will always come from that person from a place of fear, or that person has got something going on in their life, and so they are projecting that onto somebody else. So I always kind of have like empathy or have concern for the person who's doing that, because I think, you know, a normal, happy person who cares about other people would never do that.
Absolutely, you know, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. So I always feel a little bit like, oh, what's going on in your life for you to be mean and spiteful to somebody who you don't even know, you know. So I always look at it like that. So it doesn't ever make me worry or feel bad about myself whatsoever. But the one thing, and I was having this conversation with my daughter a few days ago, and she goes, well, actually, Mum, there was some negative feedback I saw on the on the This Morning Facebook page. And I said, oh, what was that then? She went, well, somebody said, did you see her wallpaper? That was revolting, that wallpaper. And I said, what a bloody cheek. I said, that wallpaper was £38 a roll from Laura Ashley. I said, well, they've obviously got no taste.
No taste whatsoever.
I said, but I didn't pay £38 for it. It was in the sale. I would never do that, you see, because I think, oh, that's a little bit out of my price range. But nevertheless, I was more offended that somebody didn't like my gorgeous Laura Ashley peony amethyst wallpaper than if somebody had a direct attack at myself. So I think that kind of put it into context for me, you know, that you're not to worry about it. And if anybody ever gets that, just think, do you know what? Remember, Beth was more offended over somebody didn't like her wallpaper.
I will remember that in the future.
Remember that.
Because I'm a teacher on Insight Timer, and I've got some of my meditations on there, and somebody wrote on one of my children's meditations that I had a creepy voice, and that really hurt me, especially it was a children's meditation. So to write that, and I just had to really shake that off and not let it stop me from putting more meditations out, you know.
Do you know what? I would have really been complimented if somebody said that to me. One, it says that you've got a distinctive voice, and you don't want a voice that's like the same as everybody else, do you?
No.
So I think but do you know what? If somebody said it's a creepy voice, don't you think that maybe your voice kind of give them the shivers? Because it's kind of like you're in tune with the angels and you're channeling stuff, and it's celestial. And you know what, maybe if they don't quite understand this kind of work that we do, but their body is a thermometer, it's an instrument to say, whoa, something's giving me the shivers, what does that mean? That's kind of like your intuition kicking in there. So I'd have probably, if I was in your shoes and said, oh, okay, that's interesting, and I may have just said, well, why don't you perhaps look at some of my other stuff that I do, or listen to some of my music. And I maybe, being me, probably would have pursued it a little bit, because I wouldn't have seen that as necessarily negative. But I know how you must have felt, thinking that the word creepy wasn't sitting well with you. But then I would think, if something gives me the creeps, you know, if you, like, for instance, you go to a place and you have a bit of like a deja vu moment, and you get that kind of like the chills, or you get like, whoa, I feel like I've been here before. I think maybe that person had like a reaction, you know, but not necessarily in a bad way. But I would get that out your head now, and think that actually you'd got somebody's attention there, and maybe they needed that. Maybe they needed to go off now, maybe, and explore things a little bit further. But yeah, I think a lot of things go on social media, and I know that people in general who do this kind of psychic work, we're all very sensitive people. So it's about then really going further with your sensitivity, and then thinking, actually, don't make it about me and how I've reacted to it. Let's think about what's going on for that person. Because I know in the past, somebody years and years ago said something which I didn't know which way to take. They sort of, I think I left a comment on their wall on Facebook trying to be supportive, and they kind of rejected the comment. And I thought, well, that was a strange reaction. I was only being kind. And instead of me thinking, oh, I'm insulted, I actually direct messaged them, and I said, that's a bit of an odd comment that you replied to. I said, is everything okay with you, you know, for you to say that? And then they kind of then said, sort of kicked off. And I kind of probed a little bit more, and I said, look, I said, you know, when I chat to people, I do talk to people, and everything is in confidence. I don't disclose what people have said to me privately. If I can help you, just say I'm here for you. And then all the floodgates opened, and they opened up to me. And what it was, they'd recently been through a partnership split. And they were just really licking their wounds, and they were really upset because their partner had left them. But you wouldn't have known that from, you know, the comment that was made. But I kind of had a feeling that there was more to what was going on, and it all came out, and we chatted, and you know, their attitude then was in a totally different way. They apologised. I said, don't apologise, it's absolutely fine. It was what you needed to do, and it's got us talking, and I hope I've helped you. And so sometimes, you know, you can look at things, it could be a cry for help. It could be that this person feels like they're not being listened to. It could be a lack of understanding, a lack of knowledge. But most people are lovely, kind people, and react in a negative way when they've got some real rubbish going on in their own lives. And often they later on will apologise for it. Occasionally you don't get the apology, and you think, well, do you know what, we just need to go our separate ways then. You know,
Absolutely.
So,
you know what, Beth, we're getting lots of comments. I'm getting texts and things, and there's a lady from Malta listening in called Daniela, and she said she loves Ho'oponopono, and she's going to get your cards, and she asked if she could have a little reading from you. So what I was thinking, Beth, is we'd share the readings tonight. We won't do doubles, because then we won't have any time for meditation. So how does that sound?
I'm absolutely fine to go along with however you want to work it, Georgie. And if you could tell me that lady's name
Yeah.
again, I'm just going to write it down on my pad because that helps me make the connection.
Yeah, I do that as well, you know. Her name is Daniela.
Daniela. What a
And
lovely name.
I know. And she is in Malta. We've got people listening in Ireland and Turkey and the UK, of course. I think we may have someone in Scotland. So it's quite an international night tonight.
Wow. Well, do you know what? I've just shuffled Live Your Best Life Oracle, which is my deck that I did a year ago. And the card fell out onto the floor for Daniela. So I've just had to pick it up and it says time to write. So Daniela, I don't know if you've been considering writing a blog, writing a magazine article, or maybe even write a book. But this is the perfect time to express what you're going through the form of writing. I also feel that there's an important contract that you need to read through, because you've also got the card here that says choose a new direction. There is new work or going off in a different route where you're going to be asked for your help and opinion, but in a work way. I feel that you're starting to gain far more clarity over the last sort of 2 months, because you've drawn the card of healing waters, where I don't know whether you've had a little bit of a tricky time or something has gone on around you, but you're now being pushed into the limelight because you've got the card that says the big city awaits. So as we get it onto easier times with what we're all going through, there will be travel for you, and there will be times now where you're going to be meeting new people and you're going to be working and establishing new partnerships. Now, I just want to pull a mermaid and dolphin card for you, which is pay attention to the signs. So there's going to be lots of synchronicities. I think you've got to narrow things down a little bit. Don't take on too many tasks all at once. Now, I see the initial N around you. So I want you to remember that. And I'm also going to pull you a number from my book. And the number that I have got for you from my book is 532. And this is what it says, Daniela. It says the forename or surname of James is going to come into your life. They will bring plenty of help and positivity, that you will feel like your true, authentic self once more. So, like I've already said, there's going to be new connections and new relationships here for you. They show me the number 21 on a front door, and I feel that when you walk through that door, you'll feel very happy and you'll have a feeling of coming home. So I hope that's helped you, Daniela.
Thank you so much, Beth. I'm sure we'll get a message back. I'm going to do a reading now for Jules, and I'm going to be using Archangel cards. And Jules, Archangel Chamuel has stepped forward for you and is inviting you to open your heart and allow yourself to receive. I'm feeling that you are a giver, but there's a little bit of nagging doubt that you're holding on to, that am I truly worthy to have this, to receive this? And there's a bit of doubt there, but they're saying to you, your essence is love. And when you remember that all of your cells vibrate to love, then you are going to be pushing this out into the universe, and that's what's going to be coming back at you. I also get the feeling that maybe you're not expecting as highly as you could. So they're inviting you to allow yourself to exceed your expectations, allow yourself to soar. I'm seeing little green shoots for new beginnings, and there's definitely new ventures, I want to say, or opportunities in the pipeline, and they're coming forward now, and they're surrounding you in gold and pink light, and they're inviting you to work more with your guardian angel. It's really important that you start to work with benevolent prayers or benevolent outcomes. So before you do anything, you take a breath and you say, I request the most benevolent outcome for, and then you say what it is, and then you finish with something like under grace and divine time. So to sum it up, I want to say, reach for the stars, you know, be like a butterfly, not the caterpillar. So be up there and not down on the ground. Lift, and I'm wanting to say, someone from spirit world is now saying, lift your chin up, girl, lift your chin up. I don't know if that makes sense, or if that was a saying that someone, a loved one, may have used with you. So I hope that's been beneficial, Jules. Would you mind now doing a reading for Rachel A, please?
Rachel A.
Yeah.
Let me have a look for you, Rachel. I'm going to get my cards out again. Often I give them a little knock on the top, and that helps to clear them. I use clear quartz crystal to clear them as well. Rachel A, the first card that's come out for you says, be creative, learn something new. So this is an opportunity coming along where you can immerse yourself into new training or a new way of learning. They keep giving me the word project, so I don't know if you've been focusing on a new project, but certainly when you have this card that says life's an adventure, go for it. It may be something that you are daring to do, you know, that you have to come out of your comfort zone, and you may be having these niggles of doubt, thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do that, I don't know if I can achieve it. Get rid of that doubt, because you can. Spirit are saying, go for it, girl, just go for it. Now, you've got Daydream Believer, which then always says that your dreams are manifesting, they're coming true. And I feel that those dreams are coming true far quicker than you realise. They show me the 12th of July, Rachel. So do write that in your diary, and it may be that time around in July is going to be very apparent for something there, especially anything that you want to get off the ground. Out of the butterfly cards, you've got the card of spiritual growth. To immerse yourself in new learning in a spiritual way is also important here. And I've also just pulled the card that says religion and spirituality. So I don't know if you actually do readings for people or you work in this way, but certainly applying yourself even more. Now, are you doing any kind of spiritual drawing, Rachel? Are you an artist? Because they also show me lots of art sort of products, you know, different pastels, different paints, different colours, and maybe have a go with that. That's important. I'm seeing a red vehicle. I don't know if you've just changed your vehicle, if you've been riding around in a red car, but they just keep saying the red vehicle is good for you. The red vehicle is good for you. So look out for that. And also the name that sounds like David. Anyway, it's a male, D-A at the beginning name is what I hear for you, Rachel. I hope that's helped you today.
Thanks, Beth. I'm going to now pull some cards for Jean. Now, Jean's messaged in to say that she's bought your book and she loves it.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank you so much, Jean. I'm really delighted to hear that. I really appreciate it.
So, Jean, the cards for you, manifesting dreams. Your mantra is, my dreams are coming true. The angels want you to work with this because they know that you have got a special gift, and I know you've got a special gift as well, and you can exceed all your expectations. The same card has come up that came up before. There's new shoots growing for you. There's opportunities. The world is your oyster. I know that sounds a bit of a cliche, but I want to say that the autumn time will give you more opportunities to allow your work to be seen. I've asked Jean to come on the show. She's a friend of mine, an amazing artist. And what the angels are saying is believe in your worth and your work, and that you are in the flow. You're totally in the flow of the universe. You are so receptive to what the angels and the star beings are giving you. What they're saying, what they love about you is that you are so open. You've got such an open heart, and you're such an open, clear channel. You're like what the Indians, the Native American Indians, would call a clear bone. You're so pure as a channel, and they're bringing through really high vibrations with you. And because of this, there is no way that your dreams can't come true. So I hope that's helped you, Jean. Would you mind, Beth, doing a reading for Carl with a C? He's a Gemini, if that helps.
I will certainly do that. Before I do that, what I want to say, Georgie, there may be somebody listening in tonight that has a Staffordshire Bull Terrier in the spirit world that was a brown or a black, quite a dark colour with a white chest. And I keep seeing a picture of that dog in my mind. So I'm just going to say, if anybody is listening that they had that dog that's passed over to spirit, that is a message that they want to connect with you, and just to let you know that they do well in the spirit world and to be remembered to you. And I have to say it because I've got it clairvoyantly coming in and out, so I've passed that message on to anybody who's listening that can take that. Now let's have a look for Carl, who is a Gemini. Oh, the cards are flicking out for Carl here. The first card that comes out is Daydream Believer. Somebody else has had that card this evening. It's about your dreams coming true. It's about that you are now starting to put your hard work into a reward system. So things are paying off for you. There will be a move or travel because you've got the card of taking the view. Now this card was taken in Dorset, the picture, beautiful picture of just looking out to sea. So Carl, you may be somebody that feels much calmer living close to water, or when you're near the sea, it does you the power of good. And as I look at that card, it's almost like, I don't know if you've been having a chesty problem. It's almost like I want to take a deep breath in and breathe in clean, fresh air to help you overcome any chestiness or difficulties. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving it in a clairvoyant way. Now, you've also got respect your environment. Again, it's a card with a road that goes on many twists and turns, and as I look at that for Carl, I feel you're going in a much straighter direction now, and there's a card of financial reward around that, so more benefits will come in financially for you, so keep striving on that way forward. Now, from a mediumistic point of view, there is a gentleman that wants to say hello to Carl. He shows me that he was not an old person when he passed. He's quite a young chap here. He feels that the reason he ended up in the spirit world was because of his own actions. I know that sounds a bit of a funny thing to say there, Carl, almost like the way he went about his life ended up crossing him over. Now, he wants to be remembered to you. He also talks about Simon. So I don't know if that's his name or that is a mutual friend or member of the family, but he gives me that initial S and gives me that name. He makes me go to around the 12th to the 14th of February. So that again may be a birthday or anniversary. And the advice he gives to you is that life will change dramatically for the better for you as we come into the 27th to the 30th of September. So he's giving you a bit of encouragement to look ahead, but saying what you're doing is good and things are improving. So hope that makes sense to you, Carl, and I hope that you can perhaps send some feedback in just to let us know that you understand the gentleman that wishes to connect from spirit with you.
Thanks, Beth. You know, it's quite hard juggling doing the readings and checking your phone. I find that hard. It's something I need to get used to. So this next reading is for Mariana M. And you won't believe it, this card has come out again. It's the Manifesting Dreams card. And I feel it's coming out a lot now because we are in this age of Aquarius. I've got a bit of a family of frogs in my throat, and the energy is so intense at the moment. I don't know if anyone else has been picking up on it. I think you have, Mariana. The Archangel Jeresisa is coming forward, and she is saying to create a solid spiritual foundation and be in service of the planet. And I'm seeing you at some sort of stones or sacred sites, and I feel that that would be a really good place for you to anchor down the light and expand your consciousness. I also feel that there's a time for you now to really let the world see who you are. You know, let your wings open, your etheric wings, and allow yourself to fly free. Be who you are. Don't try to fit yourself into a box or, you know, round peg into a square hole. Be your complete, whole, authentic self. And the energy of the peacock is coming forward, along with birds, in particular the robin. I feel there's a robin that connects with you. It's a way, someone in the spirit world saying, "Hi Mariana, I'm here. Notice me, remember me." I hope that makes sense. I also feel that being around water, whether or not it's a lake or the sea, but that's a really good place for you to be, to again expand your consciousness and allow this light that's coming down at the moment. They're giving me the month of April, really important time for you to relax, rejuvenate, receive, and allow yourself to align to your highest potential. So I hope that's been helpful, Mariana. Beth, I'm going to ask you, it seems like I'm flying through these, but we've got quite a lot to do. And I finish at 9:30 and I wanted to do a meditation. So the next lady is Maxine. She's a Virgo, if that helps.
I'm a Virgo as well, so yes, that's very helpful. You get the tidy Virgo, and you get the messy Virgo. Guess which one I am?
The messy one.
How did you know?
I'm messy, and we sort of get on so well, so it makes sense.
I don't know. I think Maxine is the tidy Virgo because I get a lot of law and order around Maxine. Like, got to do everything correctly, and I feel that you give yourself a bit of a hard time, actually, Maxine, that you like perfection with everything that you do. And I feel like, look, you are great at what you do and you're a very talented person, Spirit say. Don't give yourself a hard time if you don't always reach a 10. Just remember 8s and 9s are really brilliant as well. So I feel that there is a bit of a perfectionist energy coming there. Now, I feel that it is the right time to make some goal setting for you. Put into place those goals and things that you really are wanting to achieve, because you're more likely to achieve them once you have set your mind onto something. I feel that you often are calm and placid until you're backed into a corner, and then you will fight like a lioness. And I feel that you've had your battles in the past, and spirits show me now you're going into a much more productive and peaceful time over the next 6 to 7 months. And I feel quite excited for you, Maxine, because I've got out of my deck Explore Somewhere New. And I feel that you're going into a more exciting part of your life. I think that I want you to look out for the name of Jack or Jackie, because Spirit has shown me a J-A name here, and I feel that that's important to reference. I think that somebody around you has been complaining quite a lot about their achy joints or their achy knees or something, and I feel that they can actually be helped. So encourage them to seek further help instead of just kind of complaining about it. Do something about it is good encouragement coming from you. And for you to nurture other people, spirits say that is good, that's part of who you are, but you must also think about putting your own needs first, and then you can be even more benefit to other people, because you tend to often be the carer and the giver and trying to sort everybody else out before you sort yourself out. And also that is something to consider. It's your time to shine, especially around the month of August. I kind of go around the 17th, 18th of August, and I get a thumbs up signal from Spirit, like life's going to be good and you're on the right track, and go for what you want around that time, because you will be making a difference and you will be getting out there. You know, something big is bubbling up there, especially if you're thinking about starting a new business or making some kind of investment. So I hope that's helped you, Maxine. Good luck with all of that. I think that you're going to have a really great time. I really do.
Thanks, Beth. Another great reading, and we are getting some lovely feedback. So Mariana says she can't believe an hour's passed so quickly. The reading makes sense, and she says thank you so much. Rachel wants to thank you for her reading, Beth. And
she's very welcome.
And Jean says thank you too for the reading. And also we have the lovely I'm losing the plot here. The lovely lady from Malta, Daniela, she's also saying thank you so much. Perfect reading. And Carl is also saying this is a really lovely message that he said. It was his dad coming through. And the chest pain is from long COVID, and water. Yes. He's most serene around water.
Aww.
So isn't that lovely to know we're getting some feedback?
Well, thank you everybody for taking that trouble to leave your feedback. It really helps us as psychics and mediums. It really does.
Yeah. And Mariana wants you to tell us about your book one more time, the name of your book and where she can get it.
It's called Life by Numbers, and you can get it from Amazon if you just type in Life by Numbers, but put in Elizabeth Barber, as in like the barber haircut, you know, the hairdresser, because it's in my maiden name. It's not in Elizabeth Lee Crowther. I wrote it in my maiden name of Elizabeth Barber. And it's really great, you know, because the more you use the book, the more you will see numbers being presented to you in your everyday life. For instance, we've been out today in the car, and we saw a number plate on a silver car, and it said Lee, L-E-E, and I thought, oh, my name. And the number was 527, and I hadn't got the book with me, and I said to Nigel, I said, don't forget that we've seen 527 so I can look it up when I get home. I said, I can't believe I wrote that book and I haven't even got a copy of it with me in the car to look. So you see numbers all over the place, or you can just flick through the book and stop where you're guided to a number, or you just have a number that comes into your head, you know, and then you can look it up. But it really is a helpful book. It's good if you're stuck. It's good if you're in a dilemma. It will guide you, but it is called Life by Numbers. So sometimes it gets quite straight to the point with no messing around. So it can be a little bit hard hitting, but in a good way. So Amazon, or if you want me to send you a copy, you know, just contact me and I can do that. It's £10 with free postage, whether you get it from myself or from Amazon.
Thanks, Beth. So we're going to go back to the readings now. We've got Fulya from Turkey, and she's an Aries. And the archangel that's stepping forward is Archangel Charity. And she brings with her this beautiful, soft, pink energy. And she is saying that you have got a real generous heart. You're such a giving lady, and this energy that you're putting out in the world is coming back to you. The card I've taken for you is opening to love. My heart is open, and I see you by the water. I know you're in Turkey, but I don't think you live by the sea. But I really feel that there's some emotional stirrings beginning in your life. When I see water in a reading, it's either to calm and help someone become more serene, or it's about being open to your own emotions and your own feelings, and being with yourself completely honest, because I get the feeling that you're caring more for others than you are for yourself, and you're not allowing your needs to be met. And the Archangel Charity is saying it's time now for you to receive. It's time for you to open to love, because you've got such beautiful heart, and it's only fair that you share it and you allow yourself to receive. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Fulya. Would you mind, Beth, doing a reading for Michelle C, please? And she's a Cancer sign.
Oh, I've gone instantly to my Archangel Michael cards for you, Michelle. See, I'm giving them a shuffle. Let's see what comes out for you. Now, you've got a decision that you don't want to rush into. Nevertheless, it is time now to make the choice and to make the decision. Even if you feel like it's quite a tough decision to make, trust your own gut feeling around this, because you kind of already know the right path to take here. I get like these words like leaving and the end of an era and closing the door behind you. So you're moving on to pastures new. And as I say that to you, Michelle, I see a beautiful green pasture, like, whoa, the green is the grass of the other side, which is good for you. So I feel there's a brand new thing that you're going to walk into that will be the making of you. And I tell you what, sometimes the cards freak me out, because the next card I turned over after I've just said that to you, Michelle, says new beginnings and a fresh start. So honestly, I couldn't make that up. Now I'm going to pull a card from my deck for you, which is Make New Memories. And I feel that it's about looking ahead, looking forward, not looking back now. I'm also seeing the name of Leslie. So I want you to remember that name. I don't know if you already know Leslie. If not, look out for Leslie coming in around you, is what I'm being shown. I feel that to go outdoors, have lots of picnics, do silly things. It's about letting your hair down and nurturing that inner child. I don't know if life has got very serious and then you've stopped being having a bit of fun. But I feel I just want to take you to a park and give you a push on the swings, just to kind of do something a little bit different now will actually help you and your decision making progress. We talked about meditation already in the show, and I feel that that's going to benefit you greatly because it will calm everything down. It will help you establish a sense of clarity within your situation. And I've just put the card that says build it yourself. So again, a new beginning, which could be a new home, it could be the start of a new business or a new line of work. And then I can smell from spirit beautiful fragrance. So what I'd love to know, Michelle, are you doing anything with aromatherapy? Do you like smelly candles? Are you going into that kind of area with business? If not, then really think about that. And I hope that's helped you.
Thanks, Beth. I'll look out for her reply. We've now got a reading for Louise E. And you have got the Seraphim, Seraphiel. You've got some really high cards that have come in, actually, Louise. The Archangel Aurora, and she's all about new beginnings. And the Seraphim, well, they're really high vibe angels that are pure light and sound. That's where we got our name Seraphisa from. And I feel that the Seraphim really are singing over you at the moment. I know you listen to my music, but they are singing over you when you sleep. And I know you just dozed off because you text me. So they are with you and they are keeping your vibrations high and pure. They're asking you to tune in to divine will, which I think you are doing. You're not coming from ego. You're coming from the highest good. And they're saying open up to a higher level of illumination. I know you've had Pelloa sessions with me in the past and you enjoyed that. I feel that you've had a rapid shift in your consciousness. The other card that's come up is Awakening Ancient Wisdom. There's a deep inner knowing that's within you, and I know that you are going to be doing your yoga training and you're going to be working with children, but it really feels that this new beginning that's coming your way is a time for you to really shine. You've done amazing work so far, and Spirit is showing me that they want to pat you on the back basically and say well done. But this next step, it's going to be even more impressive, because I think you're going to be doing things that people will just not expect. That's something really special that you're going to be connecting with. And although I know that you're going to be working with the special needs yoga, I really feel that you're going to have this telepathic connection with these children that you're going to be working with. The Seraphim are going to be working with you when you're working as well. They're going to just be in your auric field. So it's a really, really exciting time for you, Louise. Hope you enjoyed that reading. Now I've got some good news. The good news is, Beth, that we can take a breath and slow down. We can carry on a bit longer, which means that I can do the meditation. I can go on to 10. We'll do all the readings and then you can go and put your feet up, have a cup of tea and join in with the meditation if you like. So that's good news, isn't it?
Oh, I'm looking forward to your meditation. That
Oh,
would be
good.
good. It'd do me the world of good at the moment, I think.
Yeah, because sometimes we forget, don't we? We're giving for other people and we forget to slow down and receive for ourselves. So I've been meditating and listening to beautiful music this afternoon and taking time out. Basically walking my talk. I've been out in the sunshine and I've been recharging my batteries. It's so important that we do that. So the next lovely person I'm going to ask you to read for is Helle, Helle, and she's in Denmark. She's a lovely lady. I had the opportunity of meeting her when I was working out there, and she's Aquarius, if that helps, Beth.
It does help. Now, before you said her name, I pulled a butterfly card out for Helle, and I felt that she loves butterflies. And I got the card of emotions, and I feel that she's been going through a whole range of emotions lately. And I felt like a lovely lady wanting to step forward to say hello to her from the spirit world, and as if she was drying her tears or saying to her, come on now, things are looking up for you. You're gonna move forward nicely. And this lady is the most gentlest soul and would be very loving and very caring. So maybe she's a mom or a nan or an auntie. I don't know who she is because she hasn't told me. So I can't give you something I don't know. I can only give you what I do know. But what I do know is that she shows me the initial S. For Sue or a name like that. So that's either her name or somebody she's close to, whether that's in spirit or on earth. And she would be the most kindest, lovingest soul around you, and would always be doing her very best for others. And she was a very loyal person. If she was on your side, she would do everything she could, to protect, to love, and to help. And she comes through. Now, what I see that I want to say to you, Helle, is please don't get stuck in your ways. It's okay to come out from your familiar pattern of life and sort of venture into the unfamiliar. You will be safe to do that, and you will be supported, because I feel that you are a little bit, if you don't mind me saying, a creature of habit, where you like to know what's happening and when it's happening. You like your routine, and spirits are encouraging you to kind of break away from some of your normal patterns and routines, because there's a lot of exciting stuff for you to experience and to embrace. I feel as I look at that, I want to go towards the end of May. I want to go to the 27th and the 28th of May for you, and I feel that that will be a good time, or there will be a reason for you to have that date in your diary. I feel like I want to kick my shoes off and walk bare feet. So they show me that you're quite a spiritual soul, but to be grounded again would be ideal for you at the moment. And as I look at that, I almost feel, are you having some difficulty with your feet, or do you love your feet being rubbed? Or even reflexology would either be a good way forward to you to train in, or for you to have a treatment yourself. Have you been also going on some kind of diet or changing the way you eat? Because spirit is supporting you with that. The funny thing that I see, and I don't know anything about Denmark, but do you eat, I just keep seeing like oats, porridge oats. I don't know if it's something that you've incorporated into your diet, or whether it's something that will be really healing and helpful for you, but just consider that. And I also get a funny name that sounds like Sade. So a similar name, or that name will also be important to you. If you don't know it yet, then please look out for it in the future. I see somebody also in spirit that loved roses. Either their name is Rose or they absolutely adore roses. So I hope that's helped you, Helle.
Thanks, Beth. We're getting some lovely feedback. Louise said she's crying tears of joy. This is just the lift she needed tonight. And bless us both for a great show. So that's lovely. And Fulia, thank you so much. It makes sense for me because I live by the sea but couldn't go to the seaside for a while. And then Michelle, I said, thank you, Beth. I'm venturing more into my holistic work and my special needs work by working with my sister-in-law in her clinic. She said loads more also about, she's adding aromatherapy oil and reflexology.
Ooh.
So you
Oh,
are
wonderful.
spot on.
You're going in the right direction, Michelle. Keep doing that. That's perfect.
So I'm going to do a reading now for Linda W. Now we've had two archangels stepping forward, Archangel Uriel and Archangel Zariel. Now Archangel Uriel wants you to find more inner peace and use this peace to anchor your power. He's saying you've given away your power in the past, and it's now time for you to become still and serene and feel the strength in the peace that he is bringing you. And later on, we're going to be working with the angels of peace and Archangel Uriel, funnily enough. He's also saying, look from a higher perspective. Like the eagles, they fly high. They're the highest flying birds, and they can see a situation from a higher perspective than we can. And you can do this. You can go into a meditation and you can take your mind, your consciousness up higher and higher, up to where the eagles fly, and look down on the situation and notice that things don't seem as bad when you're looking from that higher perspective. Now, Archangel Zariel is saying to me that you, again, have got so much love to give, but it's also time to receive. It's about obeying the spiritual laws. And I feel the spiritual laws here are to do with allowing voids to be created. So you've got to let go of something old to bring in something new, if that makes sense. And I'm feeling there's a new spirit guide that wants to connect with you, whether or not it's for clairvoyance, healing, or teaching. But there's definitely a new guide because they're showing me a wolf. And whenever I see a wolf, it symbolizes a new guide. I also feel, Linda, that you too could communicate with animals like Beth does. I feel that you have a real affinity to animals and that you could learn to work with them telepathically. Animals in the spirit world and animals on the earth plane. So I hope you found that reading insightful. Please do let us know, and we shall now move on to Monica. Would you mind reading for Monica? She's a Sagittarian.
Hello, Monica. I really want to have a look at my cards for you. And the funny thing is what's happening in my room, which has never happened before, my lights keep flickering. Ooh. So I think there's a lot of spirits about tonight, Georgie.
Yeah. The two of us together.
Yeah, the Cockney and the Brummie. We've got it all going on. We've got it all going on tonight. But yeah, my lights keep flickering. So I know spirits around. Now, Monica, I don't know if you've been having a bit of a tough time financially, but on that side of things are going to improve because I have the card of financial reward for you out of my deck. And I don't know where you're from, Monica, but if you're in the UK, we've got a program called Tipping Point, and it's like, you know, when you go and put the 2p's or the 10 pence in the amusement arcade, and the money slides towards you and drops, and that's what the picture is of. And it's like one of those machines in the arcade, and I feel like there's money literally dropping into your lap. So you may not have to do too much for some money there to kind of be like a windfall that comes in around you. Now, you've got a card that says you are what you eat. I don't know if you're really good at cooking, or you're wanting to turn food into some money-making project, whether you're teaching people about nutrition, or whether you just need to look at what your intake of things is. But there is a big thing here around food and nutrition with this card, so do consider what that means for you. You've also got the card that says life's an adventure, go for it. And I see big opportunities in November. I go around the 12th of November there for you, Monica. And as I look at that date, it makes me feel like I want to cheer and I want to clap my hands. Now, Spirit are asking me to look at the Mermaid and Dolphin deck for you. So I'm going and shuffling those. And you've got pay attention to the signs, but you've also got the Mother Healing card. Now, Mother Healing will come up if your mom's in spirit, or Mother Healing will come up if you need to draw closer to Mom, if they are still around us, you see. So it's really knowing that the connections to Mom are really important, and to really think about this is, as I look at that card, I hear a baby's cry. So you may find there is a pregnancy that's announced, or a new baby gracing onto the earth. So somebody may have just had a baby, just announced a pregnancy, but there is a new birth here that I'm being shown to tell you. I'm hearing a name that sounds like Davina. I think it sounds like Davina. So remember that has been given. If you don't know that person yet, then please look out for them. And there is a special thank you card that needs to be handwritten. So I don't know if you've just written that card, but Spirit are watching what you're doing. So that handwritten thank you card is either going to be sent from you to somebody, or you're going to receive that, and know that Spirit have got their eye on you and they're watching. So I hope that's helped you and given you a little bit of guidance there.
Thanks, Beth. We've had some more feedback. Linda said, thank you so much for the reading. The signal went just as I was talking about connecting to spiritual animals. She said she's had trouble with her connection tonight. So I'll send her a private message at the end of the show. I remember what I said. The next reading is for Panna. I don't know your star sign, but I do know you because I've read for you before. And the card that's come is Standing Firm. It's knowing that you can be strong, you can stand your ground, and you can be steadfast. You know, you're not going to be shaken on this point. I'm not quite sure what it is you need to be standing firm about, but Archangel Raphael is coming in and he's asking you to see the situation with enlightened eyes, or through the eyes of love, and know that you can be firm and fair but peacefully strong at the same time. And Archangel Lavender is also coming in because there's some soul healing that's required, and I believe it's around this situation that I've been talking about regarding standing firm, standing your ground. There's someone you need to forgive and release the hurts that you're holding on to regarding this person, whether they're in the spirit world or whether they're on the earth plane. I'm not sure, but it's a deep soul healing that can occur if you can forgive, let go, and hand it over. It really is that simple. They're saying to me, once you've realized what it is and who it is, you literally say the words, I forgive, I love, I am forgiven, you are forgiven, and then lie down and just feel, sense, see, know this heavy energy being lifted out of you. It's almost like Archangel Lavender is going to be with you. You can call her in and she'll have like this magnetic lavender light, and it will pull it out as you say, I forgive you, I love you, I'm sorry. That the Oponopono. I'll have to play that one next week. And then you will feel so much lighter, Panna. You really will. I hope that reading's helpful. And I'm going to ask Beth now, would you mind doing a reading for Valerie? She's a Sagittarian.
Oh, absolutely. I've just jotted on my pad, Georgie, that I don't know if somebody's listening in who lost a border collie.
Right.
I see a black and white border collie, and also I was looking at a white poodle. So I know that those dogs are around sending love to where that needs to be, to whoever's listening in that understands that tonight. Valerie, I've automatically gone to the mermaid and dolphin deck for you, and I feel that you probably really like mermaids and dolphins. I don't know whether you kind of have an affinity there. And it's interesting because the first card I've pulled out is the Mother Healing card for you, and I know this came up for somebody else this evening, and I feel that this is about you being a mother to many, that you are kind of spreading your healing love around, and you're giving great advice. Just carry on in that mode, even if you feel that your advice is being rejected in some way. Actually, your words are being absorbed by somebody who needs to hear them, is what Spirit tell me to tell you. Now, you're being helped yourself, and also don't be cautious about asking for help from others, whether that's just some assistance in some way, whether it's some advice. But it's almost like you're good at giving everybody else advice, but you don't like asking for anything for you. And things always are better when they are balanced. So if you give something out, allow yourself to receive. If somebody pays you a compliment, you know, if somebody says, God, you look really lovely today, say, thank you very much, I appreciate that, instead of saying, oh, you look lovely too. You know, so it's almost like, no, accept things. And if somebody's trying to help you or give you a gift, please accept it gracefully, Valerie. A gentleman who smoked an awful lot, who is quite a slender build, wants to come back to be remembered to you from Spirit side. He's got a lovely smile upon his face, and he looks like he's wearing, you know, what I would say is like a sleeveless jumper or a tank top. He looks like he's wearing one of those, but he's smartly dressed. He's got a tie on as well, and he's sending you a love. He's blowing kisses from Spirit side to be remembered to you, Valerie. And also, is there anybody that had a name like Flo, F-L-O? It's like I hear Florence or Flo, and I know that's quite an old-fashioned name, but it may be that, I don't know, it may be somebody has got that name who's living, but I hear that name and I have to pass that on from this gentleman who connects, and he keeps sucking these boiled sweets or mints, so he must have really liked those in life, but he's around you an awful lot. Now, we've just come out of March, but she talks about a celebration in March. So I don't know if it was somebody's birthday or anniversary in the month that we've just come through, but is also acknowledging that. And what I can see makes me kind of laugh, because this person says you like to feel the sand beneath your toes. And then I've got this picture of like a foot in the sand, like on the beach or wearing flip-flops. And it's like a feeling, oh, you will get that. You will get that feeling back, feet on sand. That will be a blessing when that comes, and you'll feel really good about that. I'm just going to pull you one more card, which is the card of helpful person. I think we kind of covered that when about you asking for help as giving help out. So they're really intensifying that message there for you, Valerie. So I hope that's helped you. Thanks for listening to the show.
Well, Beth, that was my mum you were reading for.
Really?
And, yes. And I can say that was Aunt Flo. Aunt Flo.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
Aunt Flo.
I could see a fellow. I could literally see the letters FLO.
Yeah. I'm not sure who the man was that smoked a lot, but Mum might text me. So if not, I'll let you know later. And yes, that was totally spot on, that reading. Well done.
Oh, thank you very much.
And we've had some more feedback. Carl said that he lost a border collie 20 years back.
Oh.
So you were spot on there. And I'm getting messages on loads of different apps. So WhatsApp, Messenger, text. I'm flicking around.
I know. I do that every Wednesday. I know what it's like. It gets easier, Georgie, I promise.
Oh dear. So we've also had another thank you, and I've got to work out who it's from. I actually haven't. Oh, it's Helly. Helly said thank you so much for the reading, Beth. And
you're welcome.
Spot on. Also, Monica, she said you were spot on. So, well, what do we expect? You're a professional. You're like professional to the stars. Now,
I'm only as good as what spirit give me. I never take anything for granted. I just do my best each time, and I trust in spirit and what they say, no matter who it is, And I had to really come out of my own comfort zone to do those TV things. I might look like I was confident on screen, but my bloody knees were knocking in the background, I can tell you. But I just try and I do my best, and I believe in what I do. So I just I do my best to prove that this all exists and that it's real. And I just think you have to put yourself in that situation if you're asked. You do. To prove it to other people, no matter who that may be.
Absolutely. A few weeks back I did a Facebook Live, and I was bringing loved ones through, and I had to sing a song, and it was a lady coming through, but nobody could take this lady, but I had to give it. And then the next day, a lady in America messaged me to say she watched it on replay. It was her mum, and she had massive, tears. Now, I just want to say I've had a few people texting in saying that it's cutting out. Now, I know that when I listen on the app sometimes on my phone, that I have problems. So I don't know if anyone else is having problems. I don't know if it's my end or what the issue is, but I'm just going to put that out there. And it's about time I let everybody know what we have in common.
I'd love to know that. Can I just say that if anybody's having that trouble cutting out, I get that on my show. The way I get round it, if you've got a smart speaker or an Alexa, one of those Amazon Echoes, if you ask your smart speaker to play Pulse Talk Radio, you can also listen through that, and that's usually pretty good. So that's just a little tip there if anybody has got one of those and don't realise that you can listen in that way.
Right.
So you might find that, I know that here at Pulse Talk Radio, we now do a listen again feature, a replay. So if you listen to it again on the replay, you should get, hopefully a flawless broadcast without it cutting out. So if you've missed a bit, do listen again.
I always listen in on my laptop. Then that way I know I have a great connection. Personally, that's what I do when I listen into your show, Beth.
Yeah,
I have the laptop, lovely
the
speakers.
Absolutely. The website's really good, pulsetalkradio.com. You can listen directly off our website as well. But if not, then use the listen again feature. But it's also good to do that, because if you are listening to your reading, sometimes you don't take it all in, at the point that it's being broadcast live. And it's lovely to listen to it again more thoroughly. Or you might want to share that reading with somebody who's connected to you, Might be your sister or your brother or, your daughter or whoever. So that's always good. But you know what? I wrote on a piece of paper, not to forget to ask you, what have we got in common? Because I just don't know, Georgie. It's like I'm really intrigued.
Martin Kemp. We've both been on telly with Martin Kemp.
Really?
I was on telly on Top of the Pops, 1984. I was 15. I was probably too young to be on there, but my dance teacher got us tickets and I was standing behind the band dancing. Yep, that's what we've got in common.
What were they playing? Was it Gold or what song? Can
Do
you
you
remember
know
what the
what?
song was?
I can't remember the song. It wasn't Gold. But I remember my outfit. I had these pink shorts. I had a white lacy blouse. I had lacy gloves. I think I had lacy tights, proper Essex girl, and a hat.
Oh, how fab. Do you know what? They play the Top of the Pops on BBC Three, I think it is. I'm going to have a look out when it's a 1984 edition, when Spandau Ballet are playing. See if I can spot you, because I bet you haven't changed a bit.
No, I think my hair was darker and longer, and I was probably about 2 stone lighter. Yeah, I was probably only a size 8 back then.
You only look tiny now, you really do. But do you know what, Martin Kemp, he genuinely is the most loveliest man. He was so lovely to me on his programme, the Sunday Best programme. He was so open to the animal communication. He must genuinely love his dogs. And they gave me such wonderful information for him about how sensitive he is and how genuinely kind and caring. He's just lovely. He was very respectful to me. And I think he really enjoyed the reading. Well, I hope he did anyway. Now, the weird thing that happened, on that show, I gave him a date. And I can't even remember what the date was now. I'll have to watch. I don't like watching myself on the telly whatsoever. I cringe. So I've only watched it a little bit. I haven't watched it. I think I watched it straight after and I haven't watched it again. Because all I do is criticise myself, which I know you shouldn't do that, but I'm only human. Yeah. And I think, oh God, what did I say that for? What did I wear that for? Look how fat my face looks. You go through all these, these scenarios when you watch yourself back. Yeah. And so I only watched it once, but I gave him a date, and I can't even remember what the date was. I think it was December the 10th, actually. I think it was. But I gave him that date, and then what happened then was that Barbara Windsor passed on the date that I actually gave him on the show.
Wow.
And I said that will be very significant to you, that date. And I couldn't believe it, because I heard the news and then I thought, oh my goodness, that's the date she died. Then I suddenly thought, he was in EastEnders with her, wasn't he?
He was.
And I just thought to myself, I wonder if he remembered the date. I wonder if he connected it. And I've always wondered about that. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not in contact with him. It was just for the show. But that did play on my mind a little bit. And I thought, I wonder if he'd remembered it or if he'd connected those two things. So it was very interesting. But Yeah, really lovely man. And, you know, it was a dream come true for me because I love Spandau Ballet. Well, I still
Me
love them now.
too.
I loved them in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so it was like a dream come true for me that he invited me on the show. But I tell you, the spooky thing about it was years ago, I had a dream that I met Cliff Richard.
Oh.
You see, I had a dream, I met Cliff Richard, and I'd also dreamt years ago that I'd met Martin Kemp. But I put that down to like a teenage sort of,
Crash.
a teenage kind of dream. Oh, meet your idols, But I also dreamt I met Cliff Richard. And when I was doing the show, and it was over a Skype or a Zoom call, I think it was Skype, not that I met Cliff Richard, but Cliff Richard was also on the same show. He was also on the Zoom or Skype call, and I could see him.
Yes, I remember that now.
Oh my goodness! So it was really weird. So yeah, how strange was that?
Amazing.
I know.
I'm not surprised though.
Aren't we lucky to both have met Martin Kemp?
We are.
I bet all the women listening in are very jealous.
I bet they are.
Yeah.
And nobody texted in, so nobody guessed it.
No, they didn't. I didn't guess it myself.
Well, Beth, I just want to give you a huge, massive thank you so much for being my first guest and helping me feel relaxed and comfortable hosting my first show. I'd love you to tell the readers once more, the listeners, to how they can get hold of you.
I've got a website. It's going to be updated soon. It is psychicbeth.com, so you can have a look at there. There is a contact form on there. You can find me on Instagram. I've got Facebook, which is Psychic Beth, or Elizabeth Lee Crowther. You can have a look at that as well. My book, Life by Numbers, is on Amazon. And if you have got it, please leave me a review. I'm very grateful to anybody who leaves reviews. I've got a few packs of my Live Your Best Life Oracle cards available, $19.99, with free postage in the UK and a free invite to a masterclass about card reading. If you want to join that, you'd be very welcome. But I just want to thank you, Georgie, because I've really enjoyed being on your show this evening. Thank you. I feel privileged that you invited me on your very first show, and I've really enjoyed it. And you're absolutely brilliant. I love your music. I love you, and I'm just wishing you every success with your show here. And we're proud to have you on Pulse Talk Radio. We really, really are. And you're just part of our Pulse Talk Radio family, because we've known each other now for 3 years, and you've really supported me on my show. So I genuinely want to say thank you to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So I'll say goodbye, and I'll catch you Wednesday.
Okay then, bye.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So I'm going to play you a quick little jingle, and then we're going to get on with our meditation. We're going to have a quick 5-minute meditation.
Kindred Spirit Investigations. Experience the unexplained. Book your tickets now at www.kindredspiritinvestigations.co.uk.
Wow, how's everybody? I hope you've enjoyed my first show. I'm going to now invite you to work with Archangel Uriel and the Angels of Peace. So I want you, if you can, if you're not driving or doing anything where you can't go into this quiet space, to close your eyes, take your attention to your breath, to your heart, and just breathe in the love of the Angels of Peace and Archangel Uriel. attention back to your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. Now, I have a channeled message to share with the listeners. I'm sorry I couldn't give everybody a reading that asked for one. So this is a message now that will connect with everyone, because if you've tuned in tonight, then this message, this channeled message, will be relevant to you. And it's from the Angels of Peace. You are a creation from heaven. We encourage you to find peace, for this is where salvation lies. You flourish when you are filled with a sense of peace. Everything you wish to see is best manifested from a place of eternal peace, connected and aligned to Creator's power and will. Nothing is achieved through stress and strife. So we pray that you will achieve a blissful life, choose peace, and align to Creator's will. Surrender your limited will now. We ask of you that you do this, and know that all aspects of your life, your purpose, and your divine plan are unfolding perfectly. So thank you again for joining me. I'll be here same time next week, 8 till 10. And if you'd like a reading, please do get in touch ASAP. I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to Russell for helping me get this mix sorted on my Mac, and Scott for the jingle, and of course Carl and Tracy at Pulse Talk Radio. I want to mention that I've got a free workshop. It's on Friday, so if you would like to sign up for the workshop, please do head over to my website and connect with me. I'm going to play my jingle to play out the show, but you know who you're listening to. It's Georgie G. Deyn, and you can find me at georgiegdeyn.com. Lots of love and see you next week.
Musical medium Georgie G. Deyn, bringing you harmonies from heaven and messages of love. Like us on Facebook, Georgie G. Deyn, facebook.com/Georgie G. Deyn. Visit our website, www.georgiegdeyn.com.